sure deserves one. And when he's back from his break, you'll see his parts made in Japan. He is the modern man, so give him a break.
Okay, welcome to another laundry 360 laundry video. This is Victor, Gimmeabreakman, youtube.com/Victor. And today we're going to be talking about, as you can tell by the title, about half kids, half Japanese kids, as we go from Sakai to Nagoya Station. I live around there. This is a 360 video, so if you're using your iPhone, you can just move your iPhone to search, look around as I bicycle through Nagoya. I'm using a microphone connected closer to my mouth so you guys can hear me, but it is pretty windy, so apologies for the noise ahead of time. And well, I'll tell you what happened last week. My son started school. He graduated from nursery school and he started elementary school. And Japan is a very, very interesting way of I want to say indoctrinizing their children or brainwashing their children, but I don't know if that's really the word. You know, everyone, I guess, is taught how to survive in the society, in whatever society they live in. So it's quite easy to just start pointing fingers. But I'll give you my experience, okay? Now, as you know, I'm an American living, married to a Japanese, and we have two kids, a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old. And the 6-year-old, little Victor, little Godzilla, he just started elementary school. And the way this, it's quite a big deal in Japan. There's a lot of things involved. For example, and I'll do a little extra videos on this just for those of you who are interested. You have to buy all this stuff, and it's very specific. For example, look at these shoes. For example, the backpack, it's called a ranseru, which there's a couple theories of where that word comes from. It might be Dutch or something, but anyway, it's a huge backpack. It's leather. It's got a hard case shell on it. I'm running the red light. I'm running the red light. I'm gonna hit by a bus. I'm gonna hit by a bus. Hit by a bus. Hit by a bus. No, not hit by a bus. Okay, didn't get hit by a bus. That's good. Give you guys some eye candy here. But I'll go through the more colorful part of Japan as we go home. So anyway, the Lancel, and I can throw pictures in this video just to show you. I'll try to keep the editing to a minimum. Is this leather hard case backpack that's made especially for kids. It's got a little safety buzzer on it. It often has the kids' names on it. Kids attach different things to it, and it's expensive as hell. Like, and no one buys them used. No one buys things like that used. You know, you buy them new, always new. I guess, I'm sure someone must. I mean, I suppose, but look at this kid. This kid. No one buys them used. They buy them new, and ours cost like I think 80,000 yen, and the cheapest I've seen are like 50,000. Maybe there's cheaper ones, but the ones I saw are 60,000. They're expensive as hell. I've seen them up to 110,000. It's $1,000, right? I'm talking about 110,000 yen, of course. So 50,000 yen, 60,000 yen. I think ours was 80,000 yen. Grandma bought it for us. She likes, you know, it's her present. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. Well, you know, I mean, well, yeah, I'm complaining about the price because it's ridiculous. But this is what they told me. Well, it's going to last for 6 years. It's got to be good. Yeah, but I'm sure there's something you can buy for like $300 that's going to last for 6 years, right? It doesn't have to be exactly. By the way, this is Nishiki. This area we're entering right now, this is called Nishiki, and this is where it's a Monday night, so it's not that exciting yet, but a lot of bars and places that cater to men are in this area. So you'll see people dressed appropriately sometimes, but I guess this is Bond Girl place. Has some dancing girls in the top. It's been closed for a while because of Corona. Don't see a lot of people out right now here. That's a Monday night. Oh, there's a girl on a skateboard down there, I think, or something. She's cruising along. Maybe it's a scooter? What is that? She's going pretty quick there. Anyway, so the other thing they do that's very different from American kids, although in my kid is going to a public school, so he doesn't have to wear a uniform yet. I think a lot of elementary schools are like that. But I suppose if it's private, then, you know, all that goes out the window. But public school is pretty good here. My wife seems to be pretty happy with the one we have picked, and it's all, you know, depending. It's by your zone, so we live in a certain area where we have access to a certain public school. Anyway, the other thing that's very different is that all the kids, no kids go to school alone, and no parents take their kids to school. What they do is they meet other kids at a certain meeting point that's agreed upon, that somehow they seem to know, and not that exciting out here tonight, huh? And then they go and they walk to school together. And I've done the walk with my son a couple times now already. Well, the first time just to see where everyone went, and a few parents did that too. And they've got like volunteer old men that walk with them part of the ways. Like it's almost like a, what's that called? That race where they pass a stick along. God, I forgot that name. I always forget when I'm making a video, certain words. You know that race where you have a stick and you pass it to the next person? A relay race, right? So it's like a relay race. Except they use, the old men have these yellow flags that say Anzen. And anyway, they escort the children to elementary school. And the first year students all have yellow hats, which I'll show you a short video of my son in his yellow hat, and all the other kids, most of them who do not have yellow hats because they're not first year students. My son's particular group is only 4 students. Right? Huh. I'll give you guys something to look at, so I'll just take you around this way a little bit. Tsumari biru wa, okay. Happo. And the funny thing is, like, there'll be different groups that are all going to the same place, but they're all taking slightly different routes. So they pick up kids along the way. Now, the first day I went, our group was like 12, and then on the way we picked up 2 more. But today, I went with them again today, and didn't have to, you know, it's not like, but the group was only 4, and the other group kind of broke off quickly and went into another direction. I've been to this bar before. Right? Oh, Yamachans. I love Yamachans. There's Yamachans up there on the right. Anyway, it broke off, and then some kids broke off and went in a different direction to pick up some other kids, and they came back. But what struck me, I was walking in the back with my daughter. I took Amelie with me because I figured, okay, I'll just see little Victor off to his elementary school, and then after that I'll walk her to her nursery school, which is a different location. And I did that. But what was interesting, yeah, you gotta stop for anybody. Well, interesting in a sad way is that my son he didn't want any help, like, which is good. I mean, I said, because today he had to bring like his extra stuff, because they're just starting school. It's only his second real day, I think, and maybe third. But he had his backpack full of, you know, books and crap already in it, and he had another bag of stuff that he didn't want me to carry. I'm like, you want me to carry that for you? You know, he's like, no, I'll do it. Another nice izakaya. Anyway, and he just seemed, you know, because he's a new kid. He's like we call him uchibenke. Uchibenke is when a kid is quiet outdoors in public, but he's really loud indoors. So my son is, of course, a roaring noise maker in the house, like screaming and yelling and running around. But outside, he's very quiet and keeps himself. And I think that's because he's just a new school and he doesn't have He doesn't have a lot of friends yet. He has a few friends that he knows from nursery school, but mostly, you know, it's all new. Where am I going? I think I want to go this way. I'll go this way, why not? Anyway, so my son doesn't talk to anyone. He's the first one in the group. I guess they even decide like who goes first. So let me retract a little bit. So the way this I think it's called Shudan. They all get together. I might have gotten that wrong, but all the kids meet in one area and they start walking together. It's Matsudara Jin. This is a shrine. I think it's called Matsudara Jin. I used to teach the person who worked here, or who owned this place actually, many years ago. Probably dead by now. And there's an order of who's in the front of the line, who's in the back line. Remember, my son's group is only 4 people, right? So he's in the front with some little girl, who's a couple years older than he is. And she doesn't really know him, so she kind of ignores him. Now, when we first started this is like, remember, like this 3rd or 4th day. On the first 2 days, like the little girl came to our door and knocked on the door and says, come out and, you know, join the group. And we're really lucky in that we can see the group happens to meet right in front of my house. So we can actually see the group, right? As they're getting together. And actually in the last few years, I would often stick my head out the window, or at the door, and say, good morning to all the kids, and they would all yell back at me, and some of them ignored me because they're bratty little kids, but a lot of them were really friendly and always yelled back at me, good morning. I would do it in English just to kind of, you know, give them some exposure to English. So anyway, but you know, my wife told the little girl, I said, hey, you don't have to knock on the door. We can see you from the window. So that stopped on the 2nd day. So my son is in line. He's in the front, not talking to anybody, with a mask on his face, with a heavy backpack on his back, of course. And then in one hand, he's carrying this heavy bag full of other school things that he needs. Like, I think they were like crayons and stuff. I don't know exactly what was in the bag. I really should know. I mean, I guess I should take a little more interest in what he's carrying to school, but it was just school stuff, you know. So, but he looked, you know, he's 6 years old, and he's a pretty strong little kid, but he looked like overwhelmed. Like he's hunched over with that backpack, and he just looked, and he's not talking to anybody. He's just trudging forward, and I just felt bad for him, and I thought, this is the beginning of his indoctrination into Japanese society. And I've been quick to, a lot of people like to point out how Japan has this, you know, workaholic attitude, and it sucks, and I don't want to bring my kids up here. There's a nice little shrine in here. That kind of stuff. Oh, you know what? Just for fun, let me take you guys in here. I've never been in here. Why not? We can actually get into the shrine. It's open. Oh, look at that. That's pretty cool. So, it's very quiet. Well, this is some kind of electrical reactor on the left. Reactor. And over here is a parking lot. So that's not very interesting. But over here to my left is a tiny little shrine. That's kind of interesting. All right. Might as well take you in, although you're probably not supposed to ride your bicycle in here. But you can see the foxes, the kitsune at the end there. It's kind of interesting, huh? Yeah, look at that. It's kind of cool, huh? Yeah, okay, that's enough. Just turn the bicycle around. My light's getting weak, I better recharge it. It's a rechargeable USB battery. So yeah, a lot of people criticize Japan for having this workaholic attitude, and you know, everyone's a carbon copy of each other. Everyone adheres to society, and nobody, you know the old, well, if you don't know, then the old Japanese expression, the nail that sticks out gets hammered down, which means you should try your best to not stick out in this society, right? And I've always thought, well, yeah, that those people exist, but there's also a lot of Japan that's very independent. There are people who I've met lots of people, like people, for example, who own izakayas. They'll tell me, oh, I saved 10 years. I met a kid who was like 26 once, and he had saved all his life since he was working. I don't think he even finished university, but he saved up all his money, and he opened up his own izakaya, his own pub, so to speak, Japanese pub. And there's a lot of people like that who go in their own way. You see it on TV all the time. They interview these people, so they kind of glamorize them. Like, this guy opened up his own shop. He used to be a waiter, now he's got his own place. Or he opened up his own business. There's people do that all the time. So, I mean, the people who stick with their crappy jobs are everywhere in the world, right? Those people are everywhere. It isn't just Japan, of course. What the hell am I? Oh. I missed it. I was going to take you guys to a really nice street, but I missed it. Maybe I can squeeze in there on the left. Oh, maybe I'm coming up to it. I'm kind of lost. Got distracted. How can I get lost going home? Anyway, I believe it's this way. We'll go down this way. Why not? Those people exist everywhere, and I've always kind of not really vocally defended it, but I've always thought, well, that's not Korean food. That's not always, true. Although that exists, that's not all the people in Japan. But then I saw my son, walking with his backpack, and what's going on here? That's a restaurant with music. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fancy. I saw that. Oh, here we go. This is where I wanted to go. Oh, smoking. This is a really nice neighborhood here. Yeah. I think I missed it. Well, still pretty. And I started wondering about that. Now, I get the occasional posts from people who say, your son's going to be bullied at work, at school. And I think I don't really worry too much about that, because people get bullied for various reasons. And some of them are because they're different, but being half Japanese also means you're half a chance of not getting bullied. Oh, and I haven't heard a lot of it. Like, I've known other people who have kids, who have half kids, who go to school here in Japan, and they're not bullied. They're fine. It's not a problem. But I have also met people who are pure foreigners who've grown up in Japan. And some of them have told me, like, I told them, oh, so you guys were fine. Because one guy had, I think he had 3 or 4 brothers in Japan. And he told me that people beat the shit out of him. And his brothers would have to come to help him because it was really, really bad. Oh, I think I wanted to go right. This is the International Center right in front of you there. It's huge. Coming up to Nagoya Station here. Pretty busy. We'll take a right. I wanted to go straight, but we'll take a right, go with the green. But anyway, I'm starting to actually worry a little bit. I don't want my son to lose his, I guess, youthfulness is what I would call it, his Uber Eats. I want him to stay youthful, like I have. I mean, I've been a kid my whole life, and well, I think high school kind of killed you a little bit because I had to study so hard in high school. But I think after high school, I became a little bit more. Oh, this is the street. Yeah. I lightened up after high school when I became a little bit more independent. There's always that. I mean, I don't have to. It's not a foregone conclusion that he's going to become a robot. But just watching him walking with that weight on his shoulders, and he's only 6 years old, was kind of depressing, to be honest. A little bit depressing. They're just so full of life and energy and so fun right now. You know, I just want them to keep that as long as they can. Oh, I see. I know where we are now. Okay. There's that one street I can show you that I really like. They actually opened up a tuk-tuk. Well, it's a Thai restaurant, but there's a tuk-tuk in front of it. And just like 3 or 4 days ago, which was bizarre because Katie and Eric just made a video on a tuk-tuk, renting a tuk-tuk. I actually asked them if it was for rent, and they said, I don't know, I'll ask for you. When it was just an employee, he goes, I don't know if we rent this out, but. Anyway, James, who often comments on my videos, hey James, how you doing? He has said, well, you know, maybe Japanese fathers will be more like you in the future and be more in touch with their, you know, parental duty, so to speak. And I think so. I think it's always improving, but I think it's been improving every generation, you know. My father barely saw his own father for various reasons. My father is a great father. I think he did a great job. But at the same time, I have to say that the tuk-tuk's over here on the right. I'm going to show you guys this before I turn around. The street's pretty much dead. I wanted to just take you down this street, but it's pretty much dead right now. It's a Monday night. See? Look at the tuk-tuk, see? Tuk-tuk restaurant. Thai food car. 2 tuk-tuks. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Look at that. But every generation gets a little bit better. They say that my father's generation barely changed any diapers, and now it's most people, not most, but the majority. Oh yeah, the majority of have changed diapers, things like that. And when I went to graduation, there were a lot of fathers there dressed in suits. Even just nursery school, a lot of kids were there. A lot of fathers were there. And that's a good thing, you know. That's a positive thing. Things are changing, so I think a lot of parents are giving their kids a little bit more support. So I guess I've got you know, it's a hard line to navigate because I want to work, I want to make money so I can give my kids a good life, but at the same time I also want to spend time with them, so I can make sure that they don't become robots and that they're confident in their lives and they're happy, you know. So that's the problem. Like, how do I balance that? How can I make enough money that they've got nothing to, you know, to worry about, and at the same time have time to guide them and support them? You know, like I want to go jogging with my son. You know, I want to go to the park and help him learn how to do pull-ups and stuff. Things my dad didn't have time for me, time to do with me on a regular basis. You know. Oh, there was a rock climbing gym here on the left, but I think they had to close it down just like a few days ago. Or maybe that was back there. Yeah. This is Endoji, which I really like. I come down here all the time. Yeah, I think that was it. Oh, man, I think it's gone. I think I caught the end of it. Anyway. So, I don't know if you guys have any thoughts about this or any advice. I'm not really, again, super worried. It's just, you know, it's just the beginning. It's elementary school. But I'm aware of it, you know. I'm aware that it's something I have to really keep my eye on. And when I come home, I ask him, how was school today? Right? And what happened? And did anybody cry? And he's pretty vocal. You know what? Since these last few months, he's been very positive. As in, not such a pain in the ass. I've come here twice. Pretty active restaurant there. He's been pretty good, fun kid. Like in the past, he would wake up in a shitty mood, but now he wakes up in a happy face. He comes to my room. I usually get up earlier, and I'm on the computer trying to edit something or cleaning up files and stuff. So many files, right? these videos take so much memory, so to edit takes literally like this alone. This is why I'll do minimum editing with this one, but even just turning this from a I've got to export it from this camera and then turn it into a file that I can actually edit a little bit before I can export it to YouTube. So it's quite a hassle. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and the views. Not much to see tonight. So I'll come back out here again. If the sound was good, I look forward to your productive commentary, constructive criticism, and I guess that's all I got for you tonight. But this place is often Genki. Oh, playing guitar, that's cool. There's a lot of individual people out here, man. There's a lot of fun people in Japan too, and they're not all robots. Okay, the wind's getting unbearable, so I'll let you guys go. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next video.
Give me a break, man. Give him a break because he sure deserves one. And when he's back from his break, you'll see his parts made in Japan.